What is good, Ninja? OJ over here from PlayerEssence, and welcome to the PE Nintendo Switch and Gaming News video. Sorry about not having videos pretty much the whole week. I was on vacation and there was a lot of stuff that went on. If you want to find out why I'm not wearing my hat anymore, what's going on with my hair, because there's a lot of interesting comments from you guys and all that, make sure you check out my last video that I did about the PlayerEssence Cross Nintendo Live. You'll get the whole story there. It's about an hour long. I also go into some gaming news that I missed and also answer a bunch of you guys' questions from that stream, so make sure you check that out when you get a chance. But until then, let's go ahead and get right into the gaming news, and that is the new Nintendo 3DS, the regular size, and the OG Nintendo 3DS have been discontinued in Japan and pretty much going to follow everywhere else. And a lot of people are saying, oh, it's finally happening. Nintendo is pretty much getting rid of the new Nintendo 3DS, or the 3DS line in general, in lieu of the Nintendo Switch. But no, that is not the case. But let's get into this article first. So Nintendo did launch the brand new model of the Nintendo 3DS in Japan, and it will be out as far as the new Nintendo 2DS XL on July 28th in Europe and North America, and a lot of the gaming press actually has it already. And this is actually the 6th model following the original Nintendo 3DS, the Nintendo 3DS XL, the Nintendo 2DS, the new Nintendo 3DS, and the new Nintendo 3DS XL. So a lot of people have been saying basically, oh, well, Nintendo's going to be shutting down the 3DS because of this. But no, that is not the case actually. What they're doing is getting rid of the old stuff that's not selling anymore and inputting this new model, because it's not like they got rid of those old models and didn't replace it at all. They have a brand new Nintendo 2DS XL that's pretty much just as cheap to manufacture. It's going to get rid of the 3D, so it might be cheaper to manufacture than the new Nintendo 3DS that's out there and the OG 3DS, since it does remove that 3D board from it. All it is just 2D. So Nintendo could be saving money, could be increasing their profit margin, since as many stores don't get this model, or at least the original 3DS and the new Nintendo 3DS. I don't see those in stores a lot compared to the Nintendo 3DS XL or the new Nintendo 3DS XL and some of the other models. So it only makes sense that Nintendo would replace it, and the 3DS is still getting a ton of great games from, like, hey, Pikmin, it's got like Miitopia, it's got what else, Ever Oasis, Fire Emblem Echoes, plus there's going to be games coming out next year for it. Even stuff like Shin Megami Tensei 5 is coming to the Nintendo 3DS. We have Fire Emblem Warriors coming to the new Nintendo 3DS. So this is a fantastic system to pick up, a good starter system as far as portable gaming goes, and hopefully what it can do is it can cultivate the next generation of gamers. So you buy this when you're like, what, 15, 16, whatever the case is, maybe you're even younger, and then once you save up your money, you can get a Nintendo Switch when they're actually available and everything like that. So in my opinion, it's actually a good idea to do this. Get rid of the old stuff that's not selling or not even shipping, or you're not using as much anymore. Don't waste manufacturing on that, because these are all the same parts here, or very similar parts when it comes to the 3DS, and then put it into what you're doing right now, which is the new $150 price point of the new Nintendo 2DS. Gets rid of that 2DS XL, I should say, gets rid of the 3D, so like I said, it's probably cheaper there, and you're going to sell a lot of these units, especially with stuff like Samus Returns coming out in September. So there's going to be a lot of great games for the 3DS right now, and I think Nintendo said that the 3DS line, and as far as the software goes, makes around half of their profit, and yeah, that definitely looks about right as far as half of the profit coming in, because the 3DS, as far as the system goes, like, some of those models are $199. Obviously, that tech is from way before, like 2008, something like that tech. I mean, and really the only thing that was modern or new about it really was the glassesless 3D. And this one doesn't even have that. So basically you just got a system in there that's pretty much like weaker than the Wii. It can do a couple things better as far as shaders and stuff, but essentially weaker than a Wii, which is 2006 tech, which was based on GameCube tech. So you guys see what I'm saying here. Nintendo has a pretty fat profit margin off of the Nintendo 3DS when it comes to hardware, and when, of course, comes to software, because they're selling premium software $40 a pop, and like I said, the game's not even HD. So yeah, I can see why Nintendo wants to keep this train rolling, and they're definitely going to continue doing that, because it's just making too much money for them to not. So I mean, I don't see why anyone with half of business sense would even be like, oh yeah, Nintendo, kill it. That's going to make things better, especially with the Switch in the position that it is in right now, where you can't really find a lot of them. Why? Keep it going. Keep both of them going. People are buying both. so it doesn't make any sense. So anyone who says otherwise, they need to actually look at the facts. Look at the facts, guys, and then you can see why Nintendo's doing what they're doing, and they're having a lot of success, and people are enjoying their Nintendo 3DSs, and new gamers are coming in and buying them as well. So let me know what you guys think about this article here. Shout out to Perfectly Nintendo. Make sure you check out the full article on their website, description below. Alright, and moving on to the next article here. Fire Emblem Warriors details. We got characters, bond levels, and more. So new details have come about when it comes to Fire Emblem Warriors, along with overviews of each of the characters, and also new news about the bonds and more. So first up, let's get into the character details. So we have Robin, who is a mysterious person who was rescued by Chrom when he collapsed on the wayside, Fire Emblem Awakening, of course. When he woke up, he already lost his memory. He has natural talent in tactics, and he has been assisting Chrom in various strategies as his strategist. His class is Tactician, which is his first class in the original game. He will fight by using a magic book. Now there's also Lissa, who's Chrom's sister, and also the Princess of the Heldom of Elise, or Elise. I always don't know how to say that name, but anyway, you guys know what I'm talking about. Fire Emblem Awakening, the kingdom there. She's a princess. She has a bright and innocent personality suitable for her age, and she always encourages her friends. Her first class in the original game was a cleric, which could heal allies' HP, but in this game she wields an axe and fights on the front lines by herself. Just like the war clerics in Fire Emblem Awakening, she also excels in close range combat while being a healer. We also have Lucina, who's Chrom's daughter. Spoiler alert. And who comes from the future world, although if you haven't played it at this point, come on now. In the early parts of the story, she claimed to be the legendary hero Marth, since the real Marth from Fire Emblem Shadow Dragon also appears in this game. Frederick, which is Chrom's retainer or bodyguard, and he's the vice captain of the Shepherds. He's a wise man with a humble way of speaking, but he also has a flaw in being too serious. In Fire Emblem Awakening, he could use various weapons, but in this game, he will fight with an axe. There's also Corn, who's the protagonist of Fire Emblem Fates. In the original game, the gender could be chosen between male or female, but in this game, the character will appear as the female Corn, which I think most people like the female Corn more. Her fighting style is using the Yato blade. She can also transform into a dragon, which is really cool. I love that about Fire Emblem Fates, how you can transform into the dragon. There's also Ryoma, who's the High Prince of the Kingdom of Hoshido, and Corn's elder brother. Xander, the High Prince of the Kingdom of Nor, who was also raised together with Corn in their childhood. And then there's also a bunch of new details, so let's go over some of the stuff here Famitsu has to say. So the article does touch on the gameplay. First, Robin and Frederick can only use the magic and axe respectively, even though both originally allowed for multiple weapon types in Fire Emblem Awakening. The magazine notes that characters will only be able to use one weapon type from sword, axe, and spear, etc. Also, the weapon triangle is also going to be in this game as well. Famitsu also provides an update on how bond levels work in Fire Emblem Warriors. When a character fights together with someone else on the battlefield, their bonds will gradually deepen. This is denoted with a heart mark appearing above the character. When enough bonds have been accumulated, the bond level will increase once the battle concludes. Then when a bond level is at its maximum, a special bond conversation between the two characters can take place. And then finally, we have a small update on the storyline event. In the trailer made for the Japan Expo, one scene shows Chrom's body glowing with releasing of blue lights. These lights gather to create a blue orb, which can then be placed in the kingdom of whatever, a Toilus, I don't even know how to say it, shield of flame. So obviously that shield is going to play a big part, a big factor into the story, into what's going on in Fire Emblem Fates. So I'm really looking forward to this, and if you've seen my top 5 games of 2017 or most anticipated, Fire Emblem Warriors was actually number 3 on that list, so make sure you check that out as well when you get an opportunity if you haven't already done so. But yes, I'm really looking forward to this game. There's a lot of great characters already in there. I love Fates, I love Awakening, I love all those, and I know a lot of you guys have talked about some of the other characters that aren't going to be showing up. They've already stated, as far as the characters go and in terms of what's going on, like with the bond levels and all that, what they're going to do is they're going to try to build this game around the most popular ones. Obviously, they have Shadow Dragon in there, they have Fire Emblem Fates, they have Fire Emblem Awakening, but I would not be surprised if we did see DLC, even though they said that they don't have any plans at this point. I would not be surprised if we saw like Fire Emblem, you know, the Binding Blade, or Fire Emblem, other ones that have other heroes in there for DLC packs or a season pass at some point, because I think this game is going to be successful. I think it's going to do well. I know Hyrule Warriors did extremely well for them, and there was big DLC planned for that one, and there's a bunch of new characters as far as what they put into there in terms of DLC and stuff, even though some of them were kind of repeats, like Link, different types of links and stuff like that. But either way, I do feel that we are going to see some extra stuff in there, and this is going to be a great game. The bomb level stuff is really cool. Being able to assign your person like to certain areas to go defend bases or go attack bases is also kind of Fire Emblem-esque-ish. Leveling up right there in the middle of the battlefield. There's a lot of cool touches, so I'm really looking forward to this game, and all of this stuff just gets me even more excited to play it. I know it's coming out September 28th in Japan, and then later in the year for North America and for Europe on the Nintendo Switch and the new Nintendo 3DS XL and the new Nintendo 2DS XL. Alright, and lastly, we do have a rumor from Amazon Spain. They actually listed Fire Emblem's Complete Edition for the Nintendo Switch, then they pulled it. So here's the original article, then we'll talk about why this might not be real at all, of course. So Amazon Spain is rumored to have listed Fire Emblem Fates Complete Edition for the Nintendo Switch. It allegedly appeared on the retailer's website for a brief while, only to be pulled shortly after. The listing had a release date of November 17th. Just a few things to consider here. As far as in this day and age, anything can be created and passed off as something looking authentic, and assuming the listing is real, it could have been accidental listing from Amazon's part, because that does happen. We've seen it before. But one of the biggest things as far as the update that comes from this story is the fact that the box art that they used for original listing was fan art. So it could have definitely been something that's not real just because it's fan art. But then again, we've seen official retailers and publishers and other stuff like that accidentally put stuff on there from fans on boxes and listings. I mean, IGN, that was the most notorious. Well, IGN didn't do it, but Capcom, they used the IGN like watermarked logo for like Okami from the Wii and put that on the actual box art of the game. Like the actual box art of the game on there. And there was also like misspellings and stuff like that, like Resident Evil Revelation, so which is once again Capcom. So you never know what can happen in these type of things. We've seen this before with Amazon, but I wouldn't put it past Nintendo to do a remake of these games and put it on there, or some type of HD port of these games, just because the original one had that. And basically what would be on this cartridge would be Fire Emblem Fates, and it would be Birthright, it would be Conquest, and it would be Revelations, just based on what maybe even the box art, what they were going for. But once again, it's fan art. But I would be totally down for that. I would be totally down for that. There's a special edition that already has that on the 3DS, but it's super expensive, and Nintendo didn't make enough of those. So if they were able to do this on the Switch to kind of get us ready and primed up for Fire Emblem on the Nintendo Switch, that would be great. And if it came out in November, please, that would be so awesome. And I think a lot of people would be able to play these type of games on their TV, not have to just look at the screen, portable only. And I think that's the coolest thing about the Switch, right, is that you can play it portable when you want to play it portable, and you can play it on the TV when you want to play it on the TV, which I'm a very finicky person, and that happens to me all the time, where I want to lie down and play games in bed, but then sometimes I want to sit down and play on the TV, and the Switch is perfect because you can just switch it up. So let me know what you guys think about this. Would you want this to happen if it was real? Once again, it's a rumor. It is not real. It is not confirmed. Not saying it is. Just giving my thoughts on that. So please take it as a rumor. Take it with a grain of salt. However you want to take it. But that listing was on there before it was pulled, and it was screen capped or screenshotted for you guys. So let me know what you guys think about that in the comment section below. Alright, Ninja, that wraps it up for this video here. Go ahead and check out the links in the description below. We've got Facebook. We've got Twitter. Follow us on social media. It really helps us spread the content of PlayerEssence across the interwebs in addition to YouTube. Also, make sure you check out our Patreon page. Pledge any tier. Be entered into win some awesome prizes each month. In addition to that, we also have $10 prize eShop tournaments for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. We'll have Splatoon 2, ARMS, and so much more. Support PE Live and PE Arena right here on PlayerEssence. Also, make sure you hit that like button if you did like this video. Lets me know you guys want more content like this going forward in the future. And subscribe to PlayerEssence for the latest news, reviews, discussions, and more. Thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you, Ninja, for the next video. Peace.